The following 3 video clips will demonstrate how a recently amputated patient will transfer from bed to wheelchair using a transfer board. So why a transfer board? In particular for patients in early days post-amputation, it is important that they're able to have balance, confidence and be able to lift their bottom from the bed to the wheelchair. So the therapy staff will then issue a transfer board to assist. As their rehabilitation progresses, they will more than likely not need to use a transfer board. To begin with, the patient may require 2 members of the therapy team to assist with the transfer. As their rehabilitation progresses, they may only require 1 member of staff to assist. The aim of this transfer is for the patient to be able to transfer independently using the transfer board. Before the patient transfers into the wheelchair, the therapist will organise the wheelchair next to the bed. The brakes will be applied, the seat belt will be tucked away safely, and the closest armrest to the bed will be taken off. The patient will then transfer from the bed to the wheelchair from his remaining limb.
The patient sits on the edge of the bed with his remaining foot on the floor, and a therapist moves in behind the patient on the bed. A therapist supports the patient's back while he leans towards the amputated side. A second therapist carefully places the transfer board under the patient's hip and thigh on the non-amputated side. There are many different transfer board shapes and sizes. It's important that it bridges the gap, with enough of it resting on the wheelchair and bed before putting weight on it. The patient places a hand on top of the board with the other on the bed. He then leans forward, pushing through his arm and remaining leg. One therapist supports the patient's hips from the front, while the other offers assistance at the hips from behind. The patient takes his time to lift himself and slide along the board. The therapists then support and assist the patient to remove the transfer board. The patient now has the confidence and ability in his balance to sit on the edge of the bed with minimal assistance. He leans towards the amputated side to allow the therapist to put the transfer board in position. The therapist is using a smaller transfer board on this occasion. The patient only needs a little help from the therapist to lift and slide along the board onto the wheelchair. The therapist then removes the transfer board to complete the transfer. Sitting on the edge of the bed, the patient leans towards the amputated side and puts the transfer board in place himself. The patient lifts and slides himself along the board until he is fully on the wheelchair.
Hope you enjoyed the videos, and remember, life is tough, but so are you.